Hello gardener, welcome to my channel. Every month I share a garden guide packed with ideas for what to plant right now to keep your garden growing strong. This June garden guide is all about summer survival, focusing on crops that can thrive and produce through intense heat. Since gardening in hot climates is my specialty, I've dedicated this month's guide to the best heat-tolerant vegetables, herbs, and smart substitutions to help your garden not just survive, but truly flourish during the toughest part of the year. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Jara. I've been gardening all of my life, and I'm a professional seed and plant nursery. I love to share my knowledge and teach others how to garden and grow food, so you've come to the right place if you want to improve your gardening skills. And don't forget to check out my website for seeds and plants mentioned in this video, and check out the description for a free printable PDF June planting checklist of all the crops I'm going to mention. All right, let's get into the crops that you can plant right now in June. Let's start with okra. June is the perfect time to direct sow okra seeds, especially in tropical and subtropical climates where the soil is warm and the days are long. Okra produces tender green pods that are delicious grilled, sauteed, or added to stews like gumbo. Clumsy and spineless is a popular variety for home backyard gardeners because it is spineless, so you don't scratch yourself up when harvesting. Okra needs full sun and well-drained soil, and you'll want to harvest the pods when they're young, about 3 to 4 inches long, before they get tough. June is a great time to direct sow black beans, but not just any black beans, Puerto Rican black beans. These heirloom beans are small, glossy, and packed with flavor, perfect for traditional Caribbean dishes like arroz con habichuelas negras. In temperate climates, you can grow standard black turtle beans, which do well in warm summers and mature in about 90 days. But if you're in a tropical or subtropical climate, Puerto Rican black beans are better adapted to humidity and high rainfall. I direct sow them 1 inch deep right under a trellis system because it grows very long, vigorous vines. This is a daylight sensitive crop, meaning it starts flowering and producing pods when the daylight hours start to decrease in fall. I like to plant mine in June so the vines are very big by the time they start producing. The bigger the plant, the more harvest you will get. By June, it's hot enough to get yard-long beans started from seed directly in the ground, and they'll take off very quickly. Yard-long beans are a fun and productive vining legume that can grow pods up to 3 feet long. They love the heat and outperform regular green beans in hot climates. These beans need a tall trellis and regular harvesting to keep the pods tender. Yard-long beans can be used just like you would regular green beans. They taste about the same, but the texture is more crunchy, so I enjoy using it in stir fries. Check out my other YouTube channel called Jara's Fresh Kitchen for my yard-long bean and mushroom stir-fry recipe. I'll link it below in the description. June is the last chance in many regions to plant sweet potato slips and give them enough time to grow before fall. Sweet potatoes are one of the easiest root crops to grow during the warm season. They are grown from slips, which are sprouted shoots from a mature sweet potato that are rooted into an individual transplant, basically. In temperate areas, Beauregard is a reliable and widely grown variety. In the tropics, I love growing Tainong number 64 or purple varieties like Okinawan sweet potatoes because they handle wet conditions better. These need about 90 to 120 days of warm weather, so get them in the ground by June. One common issue is poor root formation due to overly rich nitrogen soil, which results in too much vine growth. I solve this by avoiding high nitrogen fertilizers and keeping the soil loose and sandy for good tuber development. Next, I have kind of a lesser known crop in standard American gardens, and that is hyacinth beans. June is a great time to direct sow hyacinth beans, which is a beautiful and productive vine that thrives in heat and humidity. Known for their purple stems, flowers, and pods, hyacinth beans are both ornamental and edible. Just be sure to cook the mature seeds thoroughly, as they contain compounds that need to be neutralized by heat. Hyacinth beans attract pollinators and add color to the garden. It is used for food, forage, and soil improvement. Some popular recipes use it in curries and soups. Grow hyacinth beans on a strong trellis and harvest young pods, often to encourage continuous flowering. One bonus, the vines are great at shading or covering unsightly fences while producing food at the same time. June is an ideal time to plant roselle from seed or transplant seedlings, so they have all summer to grow as big as possible before flowering in the fall. Roselle is a tropical hibiscus that produces tart, cranberry-flavored calices used in teas, jams, and drinks. The leaves are also edible and can be used in soups or sauteed. Roselle needs full sun, well-draining soil, and plenty of space. It can grow 5 to 7 feet tall. A common issue is poor calyx production if the plants stay too small, so give them a boost by amending the soil with some balanced fertilizer before direct sowing the seeds, or add some fertilizer into the planting hole if you're using transplants. June is an excellent time to direct sow southern peas, especially in hot, dry areas where other crops might struggle. Also known as cowpeas or black-eyed peas, these legumes are drought tolerant, fix nitrogen in the soil, and produce tender pods or dry beans for soups and stews. A popular variety for flavor and texture is pink-eyed purple hull peas, But if you're gardening in a root knot nematode susceptible area, grow California black eye pea number 5 specifically because it is known for its nematode resistance. Southern peas handle heat and poor soils extremely well. They don't need much fertilizer, if any at all, and actually improve your soil for future crops. It is plenty warm enough to start growing loofah in June. Now that we are past all danger of frost, go ahead and direct sow the seeds after soaking them in water overnight to help soften their hard shell. Loofah will grow quickly but requires at least 5 to 6 months in a row of warm temperatures to get to the harvest point. Loofah is a vining gourd that can be eaten young as a tender summer squash or left to mature into a natural sponge. If growing loofah to eat, then the angled varieties like Bonanza are better suited. If growing to harvest sponges, then grow the standard dishcloth loofah or an extra large variety called Superior Light Green Loofah, which is my personal favorite. In June, conditions are just right to plant jicama, a crisp and refreshing root vegetable that's sweet and slightly nutty, perfect for raw salads or slaws. Jicama requires a long growing season, so planting now gives it the time it needs to form large, juicy roots by fall or early winter. I only recommend jicama if you have 5 to 9 months in a row of warm weather, no frost or cold fronts, because it does take this long to develop harvestable roots. It is part of the legume family, meaning it affixes nitrogen from the air into the soil, so it also helps build soil health. One thing to remember, the leaves, stems, and seeds are toxic, only the root is edible. June marks the beginning of rainy season for many subtropical or tropical areas of the United States, like me here in Florida. And there are quite a few crops that benefit from growing in a rainy environment, like taro. June is a great month to plant taro, which is a tropical root crop grown for its starchy corms and edible leaves. You may recognize it as the main ingredient that makes purple boba drinks or baked goods. Taro loves wet soil and partial shade, making it ideal for planting in low spots where water collects or near ponds and lakes. I like to buy taro roots at the grocery store and plant them into the garden. They root or sprout pretty easily. One word of caution though, taro plants look like elephant ears or many other ornamental houseplants or tropicals in the Colocasia family, but the majority of the plants in the Colocasia family are not edible and are very toxic if eaten. So make sure you're planting actual taro and mark it well so as not to confuse with other Colocasias you might be growing. June's warmth and long days make it the perfect time to sow seeds or transplant holy basil, also known as tulsi, directly into the garden. This sacred herb is used in teas and Ayurvedic medicine for its calming, immune-supporting properties. Holy basil can have purple tinged leaves or green leaves, and it can bloom purple or white flowers, depending on the variety that you're growing. Plant it in full sun with well-draining soil and pinch off the tops regularly to keep it bushy and delay flowering. One issue I've run into is fungal leaf spots during the rainy season. I manage it by spacing plants well and harvesting often to improve airflow. The oncoming rainy season in June makes it a great time to plant sugarcane. This perennial grass is grown from stalk cuttings and thrives in moist, well-drained soil and full sun. This crop does not like the cold, so is more suitable for garden zones 9 and up. Sugarcane is grown from cuttings or propagated from mature plants. Plant the cuttings horizontally in shallow trenches, spacing them about a foot apart and covering with just a few inches of soil. Keep the soil consistently moist, which is easy once rainy season starts. Once established, sugarcane requires very little care and can be harvested in about 9 to 12 months. If you've got a low wet area or containers that can be kept consistently moist, June is a great time to plant rice. This ancient grain loves water and heat, and while it's usually grown in flooded paddies, which is to help with pest prevention, it doesn't have to be grown in paddies. Home gardeners can grow rice in the ground or in containers. Rice is usually sowed in flats to control the growing environment because the soil has to stay moist to get good germination. Then the starts are separated and transplanted into the garden. If you're ready to grow a real powerhouse plant, June is a great time to plant moringa seeds or transplant young trees. Known as the miracle tree, moringa grows incredibly fast in warm climates and produces nutrient-dense leaves that are packed with vitamins, minerals, and protein. While it's a true tropical plant, gardeners in temperate zones can grow moringa in large pots and overwinter them indoors. I grow moringa in full sun, and once it's established, I cut it back frequently to encourage bushy growth and easy leaf harvesting. If it's not cut back, moringa will grow tall and spindly. The trick is to top the plant early and often to keep it within reach and full of new growth for tender, harvestable leaves. I have a few videos on how to grow moringa from seed, how to harvest and turn it into powder for consumption, and how to use it to make an all-natural fertilizer for your plants. I will link all of these videos below in the description. June is a great time to plant tropical fruiting plants like papayas. Plant them now so they have a few months to bulk up and mature before the worst part of hurricane season arrives. Because the strong winds can topple over plants. Papayas are fast-growing tropical fruit trees that produce within 6 to 12 months of planting. In tropical and subtropical areas, varieties like Red Lady grow exceptionally well. Papaya isn't frost-tolerant, so it's best grown in containers in colder garden zones to be brought indoors during the winter. Plant them in full sun and well-draining soil. A common issue is root rot from overwatering, especially in heavy soil, so I always mix in sand or grow them in a small mound for extra drainage. Now that it is summertime, I am including a small segment at the end of my monthly garden guides all about super tropical, lesser known crops from around the world that will grow and produce even in high temperatures. Maybe you've never heard of these, so let me explain each one. The first one is a lesser known herb called Mexican mint marigold, which is a tasty substitute for French tarragon, which does not grow well in high heat conditions. Also known as Texas tarragon, this herb has a similar anise-like flavor and thrives in hot, dry conditions where true tarragon would just wilt. In colder climates, grow it as an annual, while tropical or subtropical gardens grow it more like a short-lived perennial. Mexican mint marigold grows best in well-drained soil and full sun. It's also a great companion plant for deterring pests. If you're looking for a super low-maintenance perennial leafy green, June is a fantastic time to plant katuk in tropical climates. Also called sweet leaf, katuk grows as a bush and produces tender pea-flavored leaves that can be eaten raw or cooked. It is an ancient leafy green that was eaten by Egyptian pharaohs. The leaves are also a decent source of plant protein. Katuk loves warmth, partial shade, and frequent harvesting to encourage new tender growth. Now that the rains have arrived and the soil is warm, June is the perfect time to plant tropical rhizomes like ginger, turmeric, and galangal. These herbs grow slowly at first, but love long hot seasons with plenty of moisture. In colder climates, they can be grown in containers or grow bags and just bring them indoors before your first frost. You can plant it from fresh, organic store-bought roots, propagate it from more mature plants, or buy live plants from a nursery. These crops are not grown from seed. A common issue is root rot from soggy conditions, so it helps to plant them in raised beds or mounded rows and avoid overwatering early on. Once they take off, they require very little care. If you're in a hot, humid climate, June is a great time to direct sow seeds for snake bean gourds, a lesser-known crop that is a fantastic tropical alternative to traditional beans. It produces long, slender pods with a crisp texture. They taste like the best green bean you ever had. This edible gourd is grown just like a pole bean, planted in full sun, soil with a decent amount of organic matter, and a strong structure for climbing. It is best to harvest the gourds before they get over 2 feet long for the best flavor and texture. I saved the biggest crop for last, and that's winter melon. June is a great time to plant winter melon, also known as fuzzy melon when harvested young. This unique edible gourd thrives in warm weather and takes a long season to mature, making now the perfect time to start growing it. You may have gone to your local Asian grocery store and saw these massive watermelon-looking things. Well, those are winter melons. It is a mild-tasting fruit used in Asian soups, stir-fries, and stews. When picked early, while still covered in soft fuzz, it's called fuzzy melon and has a tender texture that's delicious when sauteed or braised. Plant winter melon in a full sun spot with rich, well-drained soil and give it a sturdy trellis to climb on. Plants get very big and heavy. I hope this June garden guide has given you a ton of ideas for things to start growing this month and help you fill your summer garden with plenty of fresh food. If you found this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. That helps out my channel more than you know. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming gardening tutorials, and feel free to share this video with your gardening friends. Be sure to check the description for helpful resources to keep your garden on track this month, along with links to everything that I mentioned in this video. Thank you for watching and happy gardening.